that's described in chapters 62 and 63, the 10th canto Srimad Bhagavatam, is Banasura. Jiva Goswami comments that Bana was the son of Bali, who was the son of Virochan, who was the son of Prahlad. So Prahlad, Virochan, and Bali were all topmost devotees. And Bali Maharaj and Prahlad Maharaj are 12 Mahajans. So the son of the Mahajan, Bali, was Bana. And Bana, according to Jiva Goswami, he started out also like his father, very exalted, but he became corrupted by a person who was sinful and offensive. Banasura gave bad association or corrupted Bhaumasura. Bhoma, son of the Supreme Lord Vishnu, and the association of Bhoma resulted in Dvidvida, who was on the side of Ramchandra fighting against Ravana. By the association of Bhoma, he became corrupted and became a demon. And Balaram had to slay him. So the message here is, be careful about bad association. Or in the words of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the foremost quality, how does one understand a Vaishnava? Vaishnava asat sangat tyag, a Vaishnava achar. The achar, or behavior of a Vaishnav, is satsanga. They reject unwholesome persons' intimate association. We live in the world, so we associate with people respectfully, but those who Usha is Aniruddha. So Aniruddha, what do we enter? And so another wife of Aniruddha became Usha. So who is Aniruddha? He's four. Chatur. Chatur means four. These four persons in Europe, meaning like chief assistants of the Supreme Lord. Vasudev Sankarshan. But they're members of the Chaturvyuha. In Kant speaks about persons in Dwarka, when he mentions, specifically says about Aniruddha, anything else that we do in devotional service, that is proper. Chapter. So now comes the marriage of a big battle between Lord Shiva and... Could you describe that event thoroughly, please? So Shukadev Goswami narrates that Bana, or Banasura, was the eldest of 100 sons of Bali Maharaj. And he was very powerful and very skilled, son of Bali. And he got this benediction. In order to do service, he was given 1,000 arms. And he used those 1,000 arms in service to Lord Shiva, who he became an ardent devotee of. And one time when Lord Shiva wanted to do his Tandava Nritya, his very special dance, sometimes you see paintings of Lord Shiva dancing. Nritya means dancing, so he was dancing, and Bana was playing musical instruments with his 1,000 arms to inspire the dancing of Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva was so requested, no one can enter unless Vamana lets them in. So Bana started complaining, indicating indirectly, there's to have combat with. But out of your strength, you're even weak, and he will defeat Bana, intelligence, and bad thinking, bad contemplations. Lord Shiva said, you're going to be destroyed, and he's thinking, oh, this is really great. And she was regularly, always in the company of other princesses. And one evening, Parvati and Lord Shiva were enjoying together. And Usha saw that, and Usha was thinking, when will I have the opportunity to? But Parvati said, the day will come on the such and such night of such and such month, when you have a dream, when a lover comes to you in your dream, that's the person who you... What the dream meant, she had a dream. And in her dream, some person who she had never heard of or never seen before, all of a sudden, the lover disappeared. And although she was asleep, she called out, oh, my dear beloved. And Chitralekha in confidence said, if you want to tell me, I have some mystic powers, but if you don't know who that lover was, paintings, or tonight, with Chitralekha making drawings of the Yadu dynasty, and she knew, she's a mystic, she knew these people, and you're getting close, but that's not him yet. So off she went, the chamber of Usha. And in Vedic culture, men aren't allowed in those places. But Chitralekha broke the rule and brought Aniruddha right by the side of Usha. She recognized him, and he stayed there in her chamber day after day after day. And there were assistants to Usha, and they noticed marks on her body and other kinds of indications, it doesn't say what. They could understand some kind of conjugal thing is going on here with Usha. Trouble. So they went and told Banasura. Banasura was very angry. And Banasura immediately with soldiers went charging into Usha's quarters. Much to his surprise, there was Aniruddha. And the soldiers immediately started to attack Aniruddha, and Aniruddha picked up an iron club and started smashing the soldiers and killing the soldiers right there in Usha's room. But Bana had some special potency too, some mystic power that he learned from Lord Shiva, and he captured Aniruddha in a snake noose, Naga Pasha weapon. Tied him up with a special Naga weapon and put him in jail. Nobody, for 4 months of the whole 4 months, expecting to come back, he didn't come back, no word, what's going on. Bana went to Shonitapura, that's the name of Bana's capital. Powers and the this and the that, and Banasura got this report. So Lord Shiva, assistant soldiers, he and other great heroes of the Yadu dynasty, Krishna and Jambavati. Samba was engaged in fighting Bana's son. Anyway, it gives the list of who fought who. So, one is, he knew that he would be defeated, and that wasn't a problem for him. He wanted to increase Krishna's glory. And he also knew that Krishna has a chivalrous side. He likes a good tussle. And who can give Krishna a good tussle? But I can, so I'll take the other side. As a nice service to Krishna. And there's another factor, that the internal potency of Krishna had Shiva somewhat bewildered. If you remember that diluting, that agency which takes milk and turns it into yogurt is citric acid or a souring agent, so similar that which makes Lord Shiva different from Lord Vishnu is the touch of the diluting potency of Prakriti. He became diluted, in this case, according to our acharyas, by Yogamaya. So he took the other side, and while the fighting is going on, Krishna, not wanting to fight with Lord Shiva, he fired a yawning weapon. And he went half asleep. That took care of Lord Shiva's participation. Pradyumna fought so intensely that Kartikeya was smashed, and Kartikeya, bloodied, ran from the battlefield. Satyaki killed many generals. Balaram with his club killed many generals. The whole army of Banasura was being decimated. Then something very interesting happened. The mother of Banasura came running into the battlefield naked and stood in front of Krishna, because Banasura was in the midst of a fight with Krishna. She knew who would win. So Krishna looked the other way because he didn't want to see the body of a naked woman. And Banasura took the opportunity to run back. There's a version in the Vishnu Puranas that's an expansion of Parvati, Kotari. And its most furious weapon times the temperature of the greatest scorching heat that humans can. When the body is approaching death, the temperature rises Narayana Jvara, and the Narayana Jvara weapon neutralized the Shiva Jvara pain, and so he came to Krishna and fell at his feet, stood up with folded palms, and offered some very simple prayers. He said, "I've now understood that your potency is far greater than my master's potency, because I am the manifestation of the fullness of his potency, and I've just been defeated by the Narayana Jvara. Please give me your protection." So Krishna smiled and said, "Very well. You will have no further difficulty from the Narayana Jvara." Then Banasura came. Banasura, this very special devotee of Lord Shiva, and he had so many arms and so many weapons in his arms, and started firing all his weapons all at once, and Krishna smashed all the weapons as they were being sent. And then, very artfully, one by one, Krishna was cutting off his arms, like pruning the branches of a tree. Leaving him with 4 arms remaining out of 1,000. Then Lord Shiva is very offensive. I know, he's offended even me. But what can I do? I'm attached, and he's the that I would guard his city, so he could be free. Prayers, but then, because he no longer had so many arms, and obviously he's not the most powerful person around. To subdue Banasura's false pride, that I severed his arm. One of your principal attendants, thus the universe lasts. Special benediction. Banasura offered obeisances to Lord Krishna. The marriage wasn't made in his Krishna, and back to Dwarka. Here's this description of the interaction between Shiva. This benediction is given. So Jiva Goswami says in his commentary something that you can maybe remember for at least tomorrow morning. Simply getting up in the morning without bathing, one can remember this incident. The person will not be defeated by internal or external obstacles to bhakti. Doesn't mean you don't have somebody say something mean to you, or stub your toe, or never get a cold. But it won't be an impediment to your bhakti, because there's obstacles in execution, shelter, and some other source of power, even mystical, that can't stop the power of bhakti. That's the conclusion given by Jiva Goswami, and of course Srila Prabhupada. It's a nice story within the Bhagavatam to narrate. We'll just step back a bit and then I'll conclude. Within the six Puranas that are supreme, and there's some portion of the narrations that say otherwise. They're not Vaishnava texts primarily. They're Shaivite texts primarily. And so there's coming up as Lord Shiva is supreme. Maybe there's some persons in the audience that grew up with that message. And some may have heard that Durga is supreme, or Devi is supreme of some name. And there's a whole Devi Bhagavat that has a whole thing on that. So Jiva Goswami deals with this in Tattva Sandarbha, and it's to encourage those people to go forward on a religious path. Because why do living entities take birth in the material world to begin with, according to Bhagavad Gita? Icha dvesha samutena dvandva mohina bharata. That's why. Because of icha means desire, and dvesha means hate. So their regard for the source of everything, according to Bhagavad Gita, Krishna is the source of everything. Everything is icha and dvesha. They desire that position of being supreme, powerful, and so forth. And dvesha, they have dvesha towards that supreme. This is the teaching of Bhagavad Gita. And so, if some persons, some groups of persons are told, well, there's only one thing to do: surrender to Krishna. They're not going to do that, because they have dvesha and icha towards Krishna. So something else is given so they can be encouraged in some other way to act with religious conduct and have a different regard according to their mode of nature, etc. This is the explanation given by Jiva Goswami. And therefore, according to Bhagavad Gita, leads upwards. Urdvam gacchati sattvasta. Those who are situated in goodness go upwards. Madhye tishtanti rajasa. Those in the mode of passion stay in this middle region. And gachanti tamasa. Those in the mode of ignorance go down. Vedic cultures encourage people to become elevated from whatever